Hi friends, I'm Rick Walker. Welcome to another edition of Old Autos Television. We have a show filled with history and fun for you today, starting with the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, California, where we will take you on a private tour. We'll also test drive the soon-to-be extinct Hyundai Tiburon. And later in the show, Brent Spiner from Star Trek The Next Generation fame will tell us why he detests classic cars. But first, we're off to the Performance World Car Show in Toronto, Ontario, for a look at a Grand Sport replica. Now, this is a Corvette that really marks a milestone in Corvette racing history. It's a replica that put a very expensive car within the reach of owner Sam Kelman. Amanda Primo does the interview.
Tell me a little bit about the replica and how close it is to the original.
Okay, this car is a replica of Grand Sport number 2, which is one of 5 cars originally built, and then GM, of course, cut it down from 5 coupes to 2 roadsters, and this is one of 2, and we call it the George Wintersteen replica, and it's very close to the real thing, except that it doesn't have the original motor, it doesn't have the original suspension. I made most of the stuff up from a C4 suspension. Tubular Frame, we manufactured that with our friends from Hamilton, and then of course we got the kit for the car. The front clip and the rear clip is from Mid-America in Illinois, and then the middle part of the car is Corvette 64, that's what this one is. And then of course with the C4 suspension front and back, we married it all together, and it's been a 10-year project.
Tell me a little bit about why you chose this paint scheme.
Well, it's a exact replica of George Wintersteen. This is his colors.
So obviously the racing car, the motor in that is a little bit more powerful. How much?
Yes, the racing car I think was around 500 horsepower. It was a 377 aluminum small block. This one is a 350 small block, 4-bolt main, and I only got it at around 400 horse.
Okay, so this car is made out of fiberglass. The original version was a little bit lighter, eh?
Yes, the original version was very, very paper-thin fiberglass. I replicated it, but it's in, I call it roadworthy fiberglass, which is going to endure the street. Now the car has various different features on it. This hood has they call it the Daytona hood, which has the louvers in it, and the reason for that is to exhaust the air from under the car. This car at 110 to 120 miles an hour had lift in the front. You would go down the street and you'd turn the steering wheel and you wouldn't move.
Right.
So they put the holes in the hood to exhaust the air. The rest of the louvers we have in the car on the side and the back do the same thing. Exhaust the air from under the car so it would keep the tires on the pavement.
So how is the original car important to General Motors and the development of Corvette?
Okay, Zora Duntov was basically the father of the Corvette. He came on stream in around 1955, came over from Europe. He was a racing engineer, hired by GM. He started with the 55 Corvette and the V8. And he was always racing with those cars, and then this car was his baby. In '62, he built 5 cars, very lightweight, and they were there to really beat the Cobra. Now, General Motors was in the ban of racing. They complied with the ban, and therefore when General Motors head office people found out they were racing, they put a kibosh to it and they told them to get rid of the cars. So what Zora did was he sold them to the drivers of the cars, and that's why these cars have different names from the drivers. And then of course under the table he would feed them motor parts, engine parts, and they raced.
So how does this car compare to the value of the original car?
Well, the original car back in January of '09 was at the RM auction in Arizona, and the final bid on that car reached $5 million, and it did not sell.